Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your boy Dianri. And before we get started with another episode of the Youngbouls podcast, I want to let you guys know about Inherited Media. Now, what is Inherited Media, you may ask? It's a sports media collective run by my man Chris. If you like basketball, if you do podcasts such as mine, Youngbouls podcast, or you like doing photography like my man Aiden, or you like doing anything else, you like writing articles, hit us up at Inherited Media. There's a lot of good creators over there, and if you want to be a part of something special like that, hit us up. Let us know. And just follow us on IG at Inherited. Link is in the bio. And yeah, man. With all that being said, enjoy this episode of the Youngbouls podcast. And peace. Jay, you got anything to say before this episode?
Follow.
Anything else?
Subscribe. Follow. Watch.
Showtime.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brand new episode here of the Youngbouls podcast, man. We told you we're going to get you another episode. We're not going to take a long hiatus again. It's your boy Dianri here. Got my boy Jalen back for another episode. Jalen, say what's up to the people, man.
What's good, folks? What's good, folks?
First off, Jalen, how was your weekend, man? How was your weekend?
Something chill. Got to watch NBA basketball, NBA Finals basketball.
That's
So,
cool.
Can't
Weekend.
complain.
That's cool. But as you know, yes, game 2 just wrapped up. Celtics are up 2-0 now on the Mavericks. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. This is
Stay
gonna
down,
look
stay down.
What do you mean stay down?
I got faith. Keep talking. Keep going.
Yeah, but it's not looking good, man. Obviously the big thing heading into the series, not only with Kyrie, but Porzingis coming back, and it's safe to say that Porzingis' effect on the floor has been a monstrous effect. You look at the Celtics in the previous series, with the Pacers and the Cavs and all that, they looked like a solid team, but there were still questions because obviously if you had Al Horford starting, you would have Luke Cornett coming off the bench, so it wasn't really like anything they were really doing. But now you just look at this team; it's just a whole different team, especially with Porzingis on the floor. Last game was like his first game back, and he had 24, 26?
What, the first game?
Yeah, game 1.
I think he had 22.
Yeah, he was hooping though. He was shooting deep threes, shooting mid ranges the whole time. He was having his way. He was playing defense.
20 flat.
Yeah, 20 points flat. Yeah, he was hooping, and it got to a point where literally it looked like there was no answer for Porzingis or the Celtics, which it really wasn't. They were down by as much as 20. They tried to cut the lead down to 8. That didn't really work out. Celtics still ended up taking game 1. And then with tonight, Tatum had probably one of the worst games I've ever seen as far as shooting.
Stinky.
P.U. man. P.U. It was a bad game. But where Tatum faltered, you had people like Jalen Brown stepping up, and you had Drew Holiday, who had a quiet 24, 26 points.
No, it wasn't quiet. It
Yeah,
wasn't
felt
quiet.
like it. It felt like
Nah,
it.
that was not quiet, bro. Watching that game, he was always open on some backdoor cut.
Yeah, it was either that
face
or
cut.
open. It was either that or a 3. It was either that or a 3 or just getting rebound. And then Derek White, man. I knew Derek White was nice before the series, but my gosh, it seemed like every time the Celtics needed a 3 or just something, Derek White was here to do something.
If I'm not mistaken, I said Derek White was up there.
Yeah, I didn't.
He might be
believe it
one of
at
the best
first.
Celtics on the team right now, bro.
I didn't believe it at first, man. Now you got people out here on Twitter saying that Derek White's gonna be Finals MVP and stuff like that. Slow your
I don't
roll.
know about that.
Slow your roll. But definitely looking with the Celtics team, man. If they take 1 in Dallas, I feel like the series is gonna be over. And I don't think the series is going 6. If anything, it's gonna go 5. I just don't. I just unless Dallas will literally have to win the 2 home games, the next 2 games, in order for this to even be considered to go to 7 or something like that. But I don't know. I just don't see it. But Jalen, what's your assessment on the finals so far?
The game 2 was definitely a lot better than game 1. The Mavericks we kept cutting it close. We kept cutting it close. The Mavericks we kept cutting it close. Me and the Mavericks we kept cutting it close. Fourth quarter we got it as close as 4, I believe. And PJ Washington not missed dunk, but blocked dunk on the fast break, and
They said it
after
was a
that, we're
foul.
going
It looked like a
downhill.
foul because Brown pushed him.
No,
Definitely.
it was a really clean block. He
Oh, really?
who was it? Jalen Brown. He had his hand on his back, but it wasn't a push. He didn't extend his arm. It was a clean block. But man, after that block dunk, it was downhill from there.
It's just tough to see, especially with the Mavs, because Luka had a solid game. And
solid. He had an amazing game.
Yeah,
well, except besides his turnovers.
I mean, yeah, because some of the turnovers were very ill-advised. Like there was one where he got doubled, and I swear he threw it behind his shoulder or whatever. I was like, what are we doing?
I mean, when they send the pressure, it's an NBA team. And the Celtics at that. That's one of the top defenses in basketball.
Kyrie probably had, that was, I needed Kyrie to show up today, man. 14 points is not what I meant. I needed more than that.
It was 16.
My fault, Jay. 16 points is, I needed more than 16 points from Kyrie, man. Hopefully,
I think he's going to awaken. TD Garden is a hostile environment. They hate him in there. They truly despise him as much as he despises them.
Jalen, in the pregame, they literally put up a quote that Kyrie said on the Jumbotron and about like the noise level and stuff like that. So, I mean, I get it for sure. So, I just hope when they go back to Dallas, man, it's just home cooking. They're able to just get buckets and just end up winning the games, man, to be honest with you. I'm telling you what, if this ends up being a sweep, I'm going to be sick. If this ends up being
I don't think it's going to be a sweep.
I mean, if this ends up being a sweep, I'm going to be sick. If they end up losing at 5, I'm going to be sick. If this series doesn't go at least 6 or 7, I'm going to be disappointed. Very disappointed.
I feel like, the Celtics, this entire year of basketball, the Celtics have only lost 6 games at home.
Oh, my gosh.
4 in the regular season and 2 in the postseason.
Who's they losing to? Oh, their 2 losses came to Cleveland, right?
No, it was Miami and
Cleveland.
Miami and Indiana.
They swept Indiana.
Did they?
Yeah,
they lost 1.
No, they lost to it was Miami and Cleveland. They swept Indiana.
Let's check. It might have been Cleveland. Let me check.
Yeah, because I remember they swept Indiana. You must have thought about the
game 1. Yeah. Regardless, 2 losses at home is outrageous.
Yeah, the Garden's always
it was definitely Cleveland.
It was Cleveland? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Garden's always been a tough place to play. Garden's always
most
been
definitely.
I don't know what it is.
I feel like the Mavericks are definitely gonna pick it up.
They got no choice, and also too, they need to stop putting Maxi Kleber in. I'm sorry, but is there no other options as far as who they can play and stuff like that outside of Kleber?
I mean, he spaces the floor. I don't think they really have another decent shooter that they can put in.
I mean,
Josh Green, but he doesn't bring he's not there size wise.
Derrick Jones just not knocking down shots. It's just they're role playing.
He's not really getting open shots.
He had some open shots tonight. He had some. Some of them were hitting the side of the rim. It was bad. He's not getting as much as he was last. Yeah, for sure. Boston's a whole different breed for sure. Their defense, they're like a defensive minded team. They generate points from not only just from offense but from defense as well. So, especially with Jrue Holiday at the front, man, it's really hard to score on this team. And then on top of that, even if you get past Holiday, you still got to deal with Porzingis in the paint. That's not fair.
Yeah, and that's one of another things. The Celtics have just they've been getting a lot of blocks. I know last game I believe they had, I want to say it might have been double digits, if not high single digits. And this game they had 10 steals and 5 blocks. So it's just a lot.
Yeah, somebody tried to compare the Celtics team this year to the 2016, 2017 Warriors. I was like, you really can't do that. I mean, I get that they're both super teams in a sense, but you can't compare the talent on Golden State to the talent. Can you? The talent of Golden State.
I mean, we saw Golden State beat the Celtics in the finals, so let's be real. I got Golden State winning that as well. So we saw Golden State beat the Celtics in the finals.
I'm saying. But I mean, yeah, hopefully the Mavericks pick it up, man. It's gonna be a long series. It's only 2 games to none. I wouldn't start worrying unless they win. They go up 3-0. But
And I
we'll
don't
see.
think that's gonna happen.
You don't think it's gonna go up at least 3 or 3-1?
Kyrie is gonna score 30 next game. Kyrie Irving scoring 30 points next game.
I've never, in all my years of watching Luka, I've never seen Luka have 3 good games in a row. I've never seen Luka have 3 good games in a row. So Kyrie gets 30 next game, Luka's definitely gonna end the game like he's either gonna have 20, but it's gonna be on terrible shooting splits, bro. I'm telling you right now. If Kyrie shows up next game, Luka's gonna be absent, bro. And
We're gonna
Tatum's
have to
gonna wake
see.
up.
We're just gonna have to see.
And Tatum's gonna wake up.
Tatum is a stinker. Oh my gosh.
Tatum is gonna wake
He
up.
is a stinker.
He's gonna
He
remind
is a
everybody that
stinker.
he's the number 1 option in Boston, and that's his team. I'm telling you.
Give that up.
I'm not a Boston
Give
fan.
that up. No,
I'm not
you
a
might
Boston.
as well be.
Tatum,
How you a Sixers fan? How you a Sixers fan loving Tatum like that? Putting Tatum on a pedestal like that. That is
I'm
terrible.
not putting Tatum on a pedestal. I'm just saying I expect him to wake up too. The light shine bright in the finals. He has experience in the finals, so I would hope he wakes up. It's not helping that I got a Tatum shirt in the
He's
back.
the most carried player in the league right now.
Who? Tatum?
Jason Tatum.
I feel like it's Shea, low key.
Shea getting carried? He drops 30
No,
a
not
game.
carry. No, not carry. Not carry. I didn't hear you.
I said Shea. I said carried. Tatum gets carried.
Oh, I didn't hear you. But yeah, man. I mean, we'll see.
Tatum got a few games under 30% shooting.
Okay, man. Who doesn't go under 30% shooting? Embiid has games like that. Like, come on.
But the difference between Tatum and Embiid, if Embiid shoots 30%, he's probably shot at least 15 free throws by then. So it don't even matter. You can't even tell.
Here we go, man. Here we go.
You can't even tell.
He's not a free throw merchant, man. He's not a free throw merchant. Moving on, man. Other news in the NBA right now. Lakers are looking. They're saying that they're possibly going to get Dan Hurley as their head coach. Now, if you remember last week, reports came out that JJ Redick was going to be the new head coach and everything like that of the Lakers. That got shut down immediately. Now they're saying Hurley's going to be his decision on whether or not he's going to be head coach for the Lakers. It's going to be coming tomorrow. Jalen, what are your thoughts of 2-time NCAA national champion head coach with the UConn Huskies, possibly coming to LA? What's your thoughts?
Honestly, in what right mind would you like? Why would you ever go to the Lakers if you just won 2 straight NCAA championships and you got a possibility of a three-peat? I really don't see it. Unless they paying him big money, like more than he's getting at UConn. And to be fair, I feel like UConn will give him a bigger contract anyway. But I wouldn't do it if I was Dan Hurley.
Honestly, like him going to LA, like that's cool and everything. My thing is that what he was able to do at UConn, that's not gonna fly with LeBron. Like,
yeah,
the way he coaches the Huskies and stuff like that, like college students, like if he tries doing that with Bron, that's gonna get shut down immediately. I mean, let's look at the coaches that Bron has had in the past. Outside of Eric Spoelstra, who, obviously he was able to, reach Bron and stuff like that. David Blatt, that didn't work out. They went to a finals, he was gone the next year. Frank Vogel, they won a ring, next year he was gone. Who else? Tell me out. I don't remember. Darvin Ham.
Oh,
we don't even really need to explain anything about Darvin Ham. That was just, I don't know who was in charge of that coaching. That was terrible.
Was he there? LeBron was there for Luke Walton's late.
He was there for Luke Walton. Okay. He was there for Luke Walton. Obviously, that didn't work out. Mike Brown and the Cavs. Like, I mean, Mike Brown's a solid coach, but he wasn't taking them anywhere. But I mean, you just look at all the coaches that Brown has had and everything like that, and you bring in a college coach, hasn't coached in the NBA, said his dream was to be an NBA coach, and you're gonna put him with the Lakers, a team that over the past couple of years have experienced the most pressure in trying to get back to where they were back in 2020. With the roster they have now, it's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
Yeah,
I don't see that working. I see that either going for LeBron, either asking to be traded, or people requesting, buyouts and stuff like that. But I don't see that working for the Lakers. I don't see that working for at all. I really don't. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to remember. Well, LeBron and the coach he's under, they usually have like a hand in hand relationship. I feel like I forgot who was telling the story, but when he was on the Cavaliers and under David Blaine or David Black, David Black, LeBron James was leading one of the practices, and David Black was just sitting on the side on his phone. I forgot who was telling the story, but I just watched that recently.
Yeah, it also reminds me of like when you see like new head coaches and stuff in the league and everything, and you see like last year the Bucks had Adrian Griffin, right? And Adrian Griffin, that whole experiment, it was cool for a minute, but then it got bad. Then Giannis wasn't rocking with it, and then before you know it, Adrian Griffin was requested to leave the team, whatever, leave whatever. They brought in Doc Rivers. We know how the season went for them.
Oh God, bro.
Yeah, as a Sixers fan, that brought.
Honestly, Adrian Griffin was a better fit than Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is cursed. I don't know why anybody would sign Doc Rivers.
I don't know why. But that's the star player effect, man. Like, you got players and stuff. They influence that stuff. So the players.
Same with Budenholzer too. Like he had one bad. If I'm not mistaken, he had one bad season, and he was gone the next year. I think they lost. That's when they lost to the Heat in the playoffs, and he was gone. I don't think they should have fired Budenholzer. They probably would have got to the finals another time.
Just to make sure, this was Griffin's first season. Am I tripping? This was
Griffin's he just got signed. It was yeah. I don't think he finished the full season.
Yeah, he got bounced out like before All-Star break. Cause I remember Doc Rivers was the head coach of the East, which don't know how that works, but And then just even looking at it too. The Bucks were a 2-3 seed when they had Griffin, and then they dropped. So, like I was saying, star player effect. You got players and stuff. They influence these coaching hires and these coaching decisions. But when the coaching hires don't work out, that's going to fall on the player. But if the players don't like the coach and stuff like that, and it puts pressure on the front office to get rid of them, if they start losing, that has to fall on the player as well. That has to. I don't know who in the Lakers said, you know what, Darvin Ham's going to be a great hire for us. And
I could not tell you.
I couldn't tell you either. But, I remember just heading to see them. I was like, oh, watch out for LA. Watch out for LA. We do this every single year with the Lakers. Every single year. It's like, watch out for LA. LA's going to make a move. They're going to make a run. They're going to be this team. I mean, yeah, they made it back to the playoffs, but play-ins, like, we celebrating that now? Like, y'all not even bona fide, like, y'all locked in a seed for the playoffs. You guys had to play into an extra week of playing basketball to even sniff the playoffs. And then even when y'all got into the playoffs, y'all got bounced out by Denver. So it's like, with the Lakers, man, I've been, honestly, after they won that ring, I'll say the year after that, obviously they had injuries, but if they weren't injured, they probably would have went back-to-back. That's me. But the year that they got Westbrook and everything, that was terrible. And then everything after that, it's just been downhill for the Lakers as far as that and coaching as well. So I don't know, too.
Westbrook just wasn't a good fit for the Lakers. I'm trying to remember how did Westbrook get to the Lakers? Oh, we sent him there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, y'all sent him there for Kuzma, I believe.
Yeah. Should never let Russ go, man. Bring the best of moments.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Even if y'all didn't let Westbrook go, I mean, y'all still probably would be in the same spot y'all in now.
We're just rushing something else.
If you're new and you listen to this podcast for the first time, Jalen, he is a Wizards fan. He is a Nationals fan. He likes anything DC, Maryland related. So yeah, he's experienced a lot of pain over these past couple of years.
Yeah, you need some pain. I said you need some pain. Just wait till Embiid leave next season.
I mean, as a Sixers fan, and just after watching UVA basketball and stuff like that, I feel like I've experienced my fair share as well.
You wasn't watching the playoffs, and you seen RG3 knee crumple on the goal line. You ain't watched that. You ain't watched that.
I mean,
you didn't watch that.
You
You
cried
didn't
when
felt what I felt. You didn't feel what I felt.
you
You
cried.
didn't feel that in your gut. I still got my RG3 jersey upstairs. You ain't feel that in your gut. Mm-mm-mm. Nah. On to the next topic.
Well, now we already talked about the finals before, but heading back, we're going to just talk about it some more. Just going with the Mavericks and stuff like that, Jay. If you're the Mavericks coach, if you're Jason Kidd, how are you getting yourself prepared for next game, Game 3 and Game 4 in Dallas?
I feel like you put the best you can to a switch all lineup. Because, like, honestly, what can't the Celtics do? Everyone on that floor can create a play, can score the ball, can play defense. It's just like, for real, it's really nothing. I'm trying to think. Switch all lineup and get some players on the ball machine. Make them hit their shots because that's all you got. I feel like they're missing a lot of on the free throw line too. They miss a lot of free throws today.
Sure.
They miss a lot of free throws today. That's all. You just hope you make shots.
I feel like for me, biggest thing is that they're missing out on that I saw in games 1 and 2 is rebounding. They let a lot of, second chance points for the Celtics go by, and they weren't capitalizing on getting boards. There's plenty of times I saw Peyton Pritchard getting rebounds, which definitely should not be happening. And just I feel like also too just defense, laziness as well. Like they're playing defense, but there's times where I've seen like Luka get blown by, and he'll just stay. You said what?
I said it's Luka Doncic. Luka doesn't play defense.
Yeah, I know. But I see times where Luka will get blown by, and instead of just rotating over, he's gonna stand there, and then if he'll move last minute and stuff like that. And also too, the Celtics are gonna make shots, but if the Celtics go on a run, the best thing you can really do is try to diminish it or try to make some shots of your own. It's not gonna help if you're trying to play hero ball if they're on the run already. If they're on a 15-2 run, let's not try to go down the court and jack up a three. Let's take it inside or try to draw a foul or try to slow it down a little bit like that. And also too, last but not least, being high paced, yes, play fast, but don't play careless. There'll be times where Mavs will have a fast break. Actually, it was one play in the fourth quarter I remember from this game, from game 2. They got the board, Mavericks got the board, and PJ Washington was going down the court. And PJ Washington, he dribbled towards like the sideline, whatever, which is the worst place to dribble to if you're on the basketball court because there's no room. And if somebody traps you there, you're boxed. Like there's nothing you can do. He dribbled towards the sideline. Sure enough, Celtics came with the trap. He tried to throw it back, throw the ball back to Luka, and he turned the ball over. Led to Drew Holiday.
That was when. I think Derek White got that steal and then passed it.
Oh yeah, Derek White.
I know what you did.
Yeah.
But that's what I was talking about. The steals and the turnovers, it just has to. Yeah. Stop.
And some of the turnovers, yes, I get it. You're not gonna play a perfect game, so you obviously diminish them. But some of the turnovers that the Mavericks were having were turnovers that it just seemed like gut punches. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're suddenly getting closer in the game, like for example, like it was 98-103 at one point, right? It was 98-103. And I was thinking back, I was like, man, if they didn't turn over the ball in that possession right there, this could be a whole different game. It could be a 2-point game instead of a 3-point, 5-point game and stuff like that. So just looking at that as well, as a Mavericks head coach, that's what I'm doing to try to diminish and try to at least come back in the series because I said it already. If Boston gets 1 in Dallas, that's it. There's only one team that's come back from a 3-1 series, and that one team had LeBron, Ramon, James on it. You're not doing that with Luka and Kyrie. I'm sorry. That's not chance of you come back from a 3-1 lead with that team is slim. So they literally would have to play the best ball the Mavericks have played all season because believe it or not, they're already in survival mode. They don't have like it's not like it's going back 1-1. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like 1-1, you have okay, all we gotta do is just win 1 at home. If anything, worst case scenario, it goes 3-1. Best case, 2-2. Even better case, 3-1 us. But now you're going back home to 2-0. Everybody's gonna be trying to try to get that win. And game 3, I've always said it. Game 3 is the most important game in the series because games 1 and 2, I mean, yeah, those are important too. That sets the tone. But game 3, that's a decisive game because that either determines whether the series is going to end in 4 or it's going to end in 7. So, that could be the ultimate difference right there. Anything else you want to say, Jalen?
Just another critique of the Mavericks. The offensive rebounding, yeah. Trying to think. I had something to say and it slipped my mind. What was I about to say? I actually do not recall. I do not recall. On to the next.
And now I asked you about the Mavericks, but for Boston, like if you're the coach of Boston, what are you doing? Like, how are you preparing yourself to go into Dallas? Get yourself ready for the these huge games in the series.
Actually, I remember what I was about to say. Then I answer
go ahead.
But it wasn't a critique. Actually, this game was definitely a better game than the first game defensively for the Mavericks. They held Jason Tatum to 14, I believe he had. And then, no, 18. But he shot 27% from the field. Like, that is abysmal. That is horrible.
I can pull up
the
his
only
stats.
problem was Drew Holiday. He was getting backdoors. He was getting face cuts. He was getting open threes. And he was out rebounding. I think he had 10 or 11 rebounds. He was up there. But other than that, I think they played pretty well defense. They just got to do better on the other end.
Before you go any further, Jay, Tatum, Jesus.
I know he almost had a triple-double, but he still wasn't scoring the ball.
Before you go any further, Tatum played 45 minutes. 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 18 points. He went 6 from 22 from the field.
Yes, and was it 1 for 7 for 3?
Yeah, 1 for 7 for 3.
Yeah, abysmal.
4 for 5. Holiday 26. An 11. Very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Porzingis had 12 points this game and didn't even feel like it. But yeah, and then continue what you're saying, Jay. Continue.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like the Mavericks lost to Drew Holiday today. They lost to Drew Holiday today. They played. Other than that, they played really, really good, decent defense. Right. So they just gotta tighten that up for next game. But if I were the Celtics head coach, what I would keep doing what I am doing. Honestly, hope Jason Tatum keeps making shots, force Luka to score the ball, and force Kyrie to pass.
I agree. If I'm the Celtics head coach, me personally, I'm sitting my team in the locker room. I'm saying, yo, you took care of business at home. That's expected. You only lost twice here. Took care of business at home. That's expected. We're taking 1 in Dallas. And if we were going to do that, I'm talking to Tatum, and I'm looking him dead in the eye, and I'm saying, Jason, Tatum, you say you're one of the best players on the planet. I need you to start playing like it. You're playing like you shouldn't belong here. We know you belong in this finals, so I need you to start playing like it. Because, like I said to you before, Tatum has the ability to play better. He just doesn't play to his potential all the time. And I feel like sometimes with Tatum, he'll try to do the fancy stuff, and it stops him from actually making the bucket. You get what I'm saying? Like, Tatum will have the ball, he'll do a tween crossover, and he'll drive, and you'll have a lane. He'll try to like jelly it or whatever, and it's like, bro, yam it in. Like, what are you doing?
I feel like Tatum can definitely be the best player in the league, and he just doesn't want to take it.
I'm saying, like, I know it's not crazy to even say that, because I remember in the bubble, when he swept us, brings back memories.
If I'm not mistaken, the next series, he tried to yam it and got my man out of mind.
No,
that's a different story.
Yeah. But the series when he played us or whatever, dude was making threes from the logo. Dude was dunking on Paul Reed and Embiid. Dude was, cooking everybody who was guarding him. He was cooking our best defender, Matisse Thybulle. So, I mean, Tatum definitely has the potential to be the best player in the East or, just in the NBA. I don't see why he chooses not to play like that. We all know he can hoop. That's why Boston got him. But for Tatum, it just makes no sense to me because I look at Jalen Brown. We criticized Jalen Brown all this season. Not me and you, but just NBA Twitter and all this stuff. We criticized him for that max contract, saying, oh, I don't know if he's worth all that money. Whether or not, that he has a handle. Whether or not he can go left. Is he really that valuable to the Celtics? And you told me that Jalen Brown would be one of the huge pieces in the Celtics making a final run this year, I would say thanks. I mean, that sounds cool. That sounds good and all, but I'd have to see it. And seeing Jalen Brown hoop like this is, as somebody who, not gonna lie, was talking a lot of trash about Brown before the season started, is impressive. But then on the flip side, seeing the way Tatum is hooping, it's kind of disappointing. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of disappointing. And it's
I was
not
looking
like,
at Jason Tatum's contract. Go ahead. My fault.
oh yeah, you good. But just even looking at Tatum's performance, looking at how Tatum has been playing this season, in the playoffs especially, and looking at Jalen Brown in the playoffs, it seems like Brown has been the more consistent player. I
In the
saw a
playoffs, most
tweet.
definitely.
I saw a tweet that said you could replace Jason Tatum with Josh Hart and have a starting five of Holiday, Hart, Brown, Horford, and whoever else they start. I forgot who, and they wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
That's not
And
crazy.
it's not a crazy take. I know it's not a crazy take to say that, because what Hart was doing in the playoffs for the Knicks is more or less exactly what Tatum is looking like he's doing now. I mean, he's scoring, but it's like he's not efficient, and he's not scoring at the level that the Celtics need him to. And that's why I said in the other episode, I said Boston is so fortunate and lucky that they have hoopers such as Derek White, Porzingis, people they can call on the bench. Because in the past with Boston, if Tatum wouldn't show up, they didn't have that many answers to that. If one of the two of their guys didn't show up, they weren't winning that game. And
Most scary.
this past season they had like Brogdon and stuff like that. They had Derek White. They had pieces coming off the bench. So it's like, oh, so if these guys not showing up, I can count on Malcolm Brogdon to get 32. I remember he torched the Sixers last year in the playoffs. Made absolutely no sense, but he did. Shout out UVA.
Oh, here you go.
But just seeing, the way that the Celtics are playing now, and other players such as Derek White, been a huge, huge pickup for Boston, and just getting him 3 years ago it's just paid so much dividends for the Celtics. He's continuing to have a great series and a great playoffs, and Peyton Pritchard stepping in and doing something. I mean, other players like Sam Hauser and everything like that. I mean, you can make the case that if Tatum continues not to show up, it's not going to affect the Celtics per se, because they're still going to find a way to win. It's just only going to affect his career and affect how people view him. So, as I said, if I'm the coach, I'm sitting Tatum down and I'm saying, yo, everybody else is playing. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to start playing like you're one of the top 5 players in the East? Because right now you're looking like a top 10, top 15 player right now. And you're better than that. So, and also, too, another thing I'm saying, too, if I'm the Celtics, I'm not, like, Al Horford, I appreciate you, but every time they need to start Porzingis, or they need to take Horford and put him on the bench role, because every time somebody is switching on Al Horford, it's barbecue chicken. Every time Horford is guarding somebody, it's barbecue chicken.
I think it's a little bit of jealousy because, if I'm not mistaken, he locked down that large African guy that wears 21.
Why do you have to say African, man? It's Cameroon.
I mean, is that not a?
Oh yeah, I mean, I get it, but like, come on, man. Plus, they play the same position. I'm saying that anytime a quicker person is guarding, Horford is guarding a quicker person, he's not doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like, he can't keep up.
I mean, yeah, that's a standard for an NBA center, though. Unless your name is Bam Adebayo. That's really about it.
Or Wembanyama.
Guarantee. Yeah, yes, Wembanyama, but he's on that because of his length. Pause. But if his arms weren't that long, I guarantee he'd be getting baked just as bad as Rudy.
It's true, but I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, also too, there's a lot of players on the Celtics that they have not even had touched the court, like O'Shea Brissett. Like, he should be getting some minutes as well, especially more minutes than Luke Cornett. Like, come on, like Cornett's he brings like I don't even know what Cornett really brings like that, but like
I guess he's more like a defensive presence because he doesn't.
He don't even be playing.
He's a big body in the paint. He's
just be jumping and stuff every time they be shooting. But O'Shea Brissett definitely should be getting minutes. He was a solid player on the Pacers. I definitely, if I'm the coach, I'm definitely trying to find ways to implement him because he's like a Swiss Army knife for sure. But yeah, man, that's just how I'm feeling about the whole thing. That's how I'm feeling if I'm the Celtics. what I would do. But anything else you gotta say, Jay?
I feel like they can throw in Xavier Tillman in there too. He can space the floor. He's a big man that can space the floor, like he did in Memphis. Like he can space the floor when you need a center, and both your guys are winded. Al Horford winded. Porzingis still a little bit injured, not 100%. Throw Xavier Tillman in there. He can space the floor just as good.
Oh yeah, also too Xavier Tillman. Yeah, I agree. But yeah. Hopefully they take care of business though. We'll see. Moving on though, man. Moving on. I know you like NFL. I like NFL.
Oh yes, sir. I was going to ask you if you want to touch on those OTAs just ended.
I wasn't even going to touch on that first, but we could touch on that after. I was about to talk about.
We do that later.
We can touch on that after this because literally this is probably going to take like a couple seconds, really. But Giants tight end Darren Waller announced his retirement. This is 2-3 weeks after he dropped his song about his divorce with Kelsey Plum. I'm pretty sure this is like his second. This would have been his second year playing for the Giants because I'm pretty sure last year was his first year with the Giants.
He played 1 year.
Gosh, how are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about him being retired? What does this do with the Giants?
CTE is real. CTE is real. That's all I got to say. That's all I can really see this as.
I don't even know what to make of it because he's definitely not like how old is he? Like
he's 30. I think he just turned 31. Yeah, I think he just turned 31.
He just turned 31. But it's like if I'm the Giants, I'm heated because we just paid this man all this money to play for us. And
now he gets this money sitting on his couch. Because I know it was a hefty guaranteed amount.
Yeah, it definitely was because Waller was at the time when he got traded to New York, he was a borderline Pro Bowler, and he's a former Pro Bowler. So yeah, if I'm the Giants, it's not really good. You lost Saquon, and now you lose Darren Waller, and you still have.
And they got so good defensively, like that was just a weapon they needed on offense. Now they don't. They're just losing more weapons on offense.
Who do they have on offense now as far as weapons?
No one. They just losing weapons. That's what I'm saying. Malik Neighbors is all they got right now.
Okay. Also, too, I want to ask you. We're still on the topic of NFL, but Ryan Clark, he came out this week, said that the Bears are going to win a lot of games this year. How many games over under? How many games do you think Chicago's going to win this year?
Give me a line. I'll give you over under.
Over under 7. 7. I'll say 8. Over under 8.
7. So like 7.5. Okay, I'll give you over 7.5. I'll give you over 7. It might be like borderline 8. I might even give it 9, 8 or 9. That's their ceiling right now. So,
because
depending on how good Caleb plays.
The Bears are like a good team, man. They do. It's just gonna be tricky because obviously Caleb's a rookie, so I'm not expecting him to play like the man off the bat. But if their schedule really constitutes it, I feel like they could surprise a lot of people this year. I'm not saying they're gonna make the playoffs.
They got a lot better on both sides.
I'm not saying they're gonna make the playoffs, but they definitely could, not finish last in the North. So, speaking of, and speaking of this line thing, this may be like a new segment that we do on this podcast, man. We're just gonna do over.
I like that.
Yeah, why stop with Chicago, man? We're just gonna name. I'm gonna name some teams, and you're gonna say over under how many wins they get, and it's gonna be like 7. It's gonna be 7 or 8 for the most part. But all right, let's start with your favorite team, man, the Commanders.
Woo! Give me a line.
Over under 7 games, y'all winning this year.
Ooh. I don't know if I said it here on this podcast, but I really have faith in my team this year. It's looking, it's a really bright future. This year, first year with Dan Quinn.
I forgot you guys had Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was a solid defensive coach for the Cowboys for the most part.
Yes, great defensive coordinator. He was mediocre for the Falcons, but
yeah.
Nevertheless, I see
You
a really
you got
bright
to go.
future.
You got Jaden Daniels, QB1.
Yes, Aura Man. At the 5, we're number 5 at the quarterback. Aura Man.
Poor man.
Okay, I'm a beat around the bush. I said, like I said, I don't think I said on this podcast, but our ceiling is 9 wins. Our ceiling is 9 wins. I feel like our floor is 6 wins. So anywhere between that range, 6 to 9 is where we're gonna be.
Who else do y'all have on offense again? Like, what other offensive pieces you guys have?
We drafted 2 receivers. No, okay. We drafted a receiver and then we picked up an undrafted receiver.
But like on the team already, who y'all got? Like on the team already, like, did y'all pick up anybody from like free agency and stuff like that?
We picked up some offensive linemen. We picked up a few defensive pieces.
Y'all still got
as well.
McLaurin. Y'all still got McLaurin. That's gonna be
Yes.
nice. McLaurin and
I
Daniels.
don't think we. Austin Eckler. I think he was our only. Yeah, Eckler in our offensive line was our only offensive pickups. We picked up a lot on defense. We picked up 2 middle linebackers, and Bobby Wagner and Frankie Lavu. We picked up a safety and a corner, and we still have we still potentially can get Stephon Gilmore. So if we can snag Stephon Gilmore, I feel like that's a great mentor, even if he doesn't play as much or he gets injured. That's a great mentor for our
Daniel Forbes definitely
young DBs. Our young DBs to have. Speaking of Emmanuel Forbes, he needs to get a little weight, but he needs to gain a little weight. It's only up from here. It's only up from here. Super
Bowl champs 2039.
Super Bowl champs 2028. 2027, 2028. 2028.
All right, for the Commanders, man. You said the ceiling is 9, the floor is 6. So the ceiling is all right. So over under. All right.
Now bump that ceiling up to 10.
You ain't tripping.
6 and 10. 6 and 10.
I'm gonna be more realistic here. I got them at least. The floor for me, 5.5 wins. 5.5 wins. I definitely. I'm sorry. I don't see them winning more than 7. And then the ceiling for me, I feel like it's gonna be 7, probably 7 to 8, 7.5 to 8. That's what I feel like. I don't personally see them winning 10 games, Jay. I'm sorry.
Well, like I said, that's our ceiling. But since you want to talk about my team, I think we should have a little conversation about the New Orleans Saints here.
Oh, yeah. One of the best teams in NFC South.
So I'm going to give you a proposition. And I'm going to say, do you have the Saints winning over or under 8 games?
I looked at the schedule back when, they're still in like the drafting thing. And I said, I see at least 6 wins on the schedule.
Max?
No. I said at least. I'm pulling up the schedule right now because, real Saints fan in the building. Been the Saints fan, always. But
you should know your schedule by heart if you are a true fan like I do.
My fault, Jay. My fault.
Not
Jay.
in order, but I know the teams we play.
My fault, Jay. My fault. But I'm looking at the schedule right now. I see at least a cool 9 to 10 wins, honestly. I see us making the playoffs this year. Obviously, the playoffs have missed us. We got robbed last year from being in the playoffs.
Sure.
I don't trust Baker Mayfield to have another solid season like he did last year. I feel like he's gonna relapse. No, regress. I said relapse. Regress. I feel like he's gonna regress. New Orleans gonna be back in the playoffs. My prediction is Derek Carr's gonna get injured in the beginning of the season. Spencer Rattler's gonna come in. He's gonna lead us.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Spencer Rattler's definitely gonna be your starter by the end of the year.
He's gonna take us there. He's gonna take us to the playoffs, man. Sadly, we had to see Michael Thomas go, but we still got Olave. We got Olave. Hey, you said what? He's not a
1 year fraud.
He's not a fraud.
Anyway, continue on to your.
You have no idea how good Michael Thomas was. You have no idea.
Continue on.
We have Kamara, Jamal Williams. It's just clear. It's just clear skies for New Orleans. You say your future is bright. Our future is just Super Bowl champs on the way. Super Bowl champs on the
Dennis
way.
Allen.
Look, Dennis Allen's gonna be there, yes, but I'm telling you, I just feel a different team. We started catching our stride toward the end of the season last year. I see us definitely winning this. I'm not saying winning the Super Bowl, but we're winning the playoff game this year because we will be in the playoffs, and we're gonna take the Eagles down too. We're gonna take the Eagles down too. Saints first to everybody. But yeah, what's your floor and ceiling for my team? What's your floor and ceiling?
Yeah, you gave your opinion on your team, so I'm gonna give my opinion on your team. I feel like your team, honestly, will have the same record as our team, if not worse.
Are you serious?
I am 100% serious.
You serious, bro?
I'm trying to think. What was your draft like? You guys' draft looking like? You guys drafted offensive tackle, defensive lineman, I believe, Rattler.
Yeah.
And I picked up a DB. Oh yeah, Cooley McKinstry.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you're gonna be nice.
Whatever you think. Your coaching, if it looks the same as last year, your team is depleting.
For sure.
Your team is depleting.
No, for sure. If Derek Carr is playing the way he played last season, we're not doing anything. So, you're definitely not wrong on that at all. But go ahead and book us for 10 wins. Go ahead and book us for 10 wins.
I'll book y'all for 7 max.
All right. So we just hate it.
Y'all gonna have a nice, y'all gonna get the 10th pick of the draft next year. It's gonna be like a nice, yeah. Y'all gonna get a nice first half pick.
We should have gotten Daniels this year. I'm still mad about that. I wish you would have drafted Jaden.
You thought you were getting Jaden Daniels. You thought you were getting Michael Penix. Then you thought
I did think we were gonna get Michael Penix. I was praying that to the gods that we got Penix. I was praying.
Not at all. He went. I told you he was either going to go to the. I didn't think he was going to go to the Falcons, but I definitely thought he was either going to the. I thought he was going to the Raiders. That's what I thought he was going to get picked up by.
I thought the Giants.
And they ended up taking.
I thought the Giants were going to.
It was a few teams. Few teams.
All right, but moving on. So we're gonna do, obviously, we're gonna do this for time reasons. So we're just gonna do 3 more teams. So the teams I got we got the Eagles, the Texans, and last but not least, you can pick the last team. Eagles, Texans.
I like Falcons. They got a lot of new pieces.
All right. So first off, Eagles, obviously disappointing into their season last year. They started off 10-1. They totally collapsed. As somebody who doesn't like the Eagles, this brought so much happiness to me. Seeing all my friends all sad and everything like that. Lost to the Buccaneers in the playoffs. Easy bake, took care of business.
Easy bake. Talk to him. Easy bake.
Obviously, in the draft, got one of the best safeties that were available, Cooper DeJean. And then obviously they got Saquon Barkley. And I'm pretty sure they got a lot more pieces too. I could definitely be missing for sure.
I'm trying to think.
Pretty sure. Didn't they get a defensive lineman? Didn't they get I forgot who they got. They got somebody else.
It's gonna hit me eventually.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
But anyway, what's your over-under on wins? Over-under 13.5 wins.
13.5 is high. Under. Smash the under.
All right, my fault. All right, over-under 11.5 wins. Over-under 11.5 wins.
I like that line better.
I'm just getting into the parlay stuff. Shout out Flip.
They play 17 games. You said 11.5. I'm taking it over. It's gonna be a narrow over. As much as I hate to say that as a Commanders fan, I think they're gonna be sitting just at 12 wins. They're gonna lose 5.
I feel like the Eagles gonna go 11-6 this year. I'm calling it right now. I feel like the Eagles they're gonna be nice, yes, but I feel like it's gonna be more or less the same thing as last year. They're gonna load up the team.
I hope so. I hope so.
You and me both. But they're gonna load up the team. Beginning the season, everybody gonna be like, "Oh, we're going to this. We're gonna do this." Because chemistry and stuff like that, you can't just get that to 100% overnight. It's not 2K. You get what I'm saying? You can't just get to 100% overnight. They're gonna have to gel, and you're gonna have to see how they play and everything like that. Plus, you're bringing on a new defensive coordinator, a new offensive coordinator, so it's a lot of work. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that has to go into it. I feel like they're going to start off on the rocky foot, but they're going to catch their stride towards the end of the season. They're going to still win more than 10 games, but over 11 and over 12 and a half, I'm smashing under on that, for sure.
I feel like you said a really good line. That's a really good line. I said 12, but I really hope the Eagles collapse this year. I need my team to step up.
Like I said, you and me both.
I need my team to step up.
Now, will I say that once they make it to the playoffs, they're going to end up winning the Super Bowl? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. There's a lot of good teams in the NFC this year. I definitely feel like Detroit's going to be back in that Super Bowl conversation this year after last year for sure.
And Detroit picked up a lot of good pieces.
Yeah, they did. Detroit did. Obviously, with the NFC North, you got Jordan Love, who just had one of his best seasons. Pretty sure it's like his third or fourth season in the league. He's been balling, and the Packers were able to do solid, and they're only going to get better over time.
Most definitely. He's taking the same road as Aaron Rodgers did. He sat back up for a little bit, stepped in, and showed up.
Honestly, I don't know about San Francisco as far as where they're going to be. I feel like they're going to be fine, though. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like they're going to be fine. So it really is all up to the Eagles and whether or not they play like the team that they played like 2 years ago when they're in the Super Bowl. Do I think they have a chance to win one this year? For sure. Did everyone think they had a chance to win one last year? Of course. Did it happen? No. I'm praying it doesn't happen, but the fan in me wants to see it happen so it can go down to Center City and be live again and stuff.
That would be amazing.
That was fun. But all right, moving on. So we just did the Eagles, did the Saints, forgot who else we did. Oh yeah, the Commanders. So now we're gonna do the team that probably has a lot of talk about what they've been doing this offseason. Acquiring Stephon Diggs. We got the Houston Texans, man. The line I got for you, over, under. I'm going to give you the same line, over, under, 11.5.
Okay. I'm gonna take the under. I feel like they're going to be a 9 or 10 win team. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they had the same record last year. I think they're going to be a 9 or 10 win team. I feel like it's going to take a little bit for Stephon Diggs to fit into that team. Stephon Diggs he's a big receiver, and I feel like he's a self-centered receiver. I love Stephon Diggs, but I feel like he needs the spotlight.
You're not wrong.
I feel like he needs the spotlight.
You're not wrong.
And there's a lot of talent. Okay, my fault. Go ahead.
You get. I remember that on Buffalo. There'll be times where Stephon Diggs wouldn't get the ball, and he'll be yelling at Josh Allen and stuff on the sideline or throwing a temper tantrum and stuff like that. So, especially moving on to a different offense, especially with Stroud at the helm, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what type of role he plays for sure. I still feel like they're gonna win 12 games this year. One of the best defenses in the league. Will Anderson doing his thing. They were a playoff team with DeMeco Ryans' first year coaching them. They're only going to get better. And honestly, I don't see anybody else in the AFC South really stopping them outside of Jacksonville. But it's Jacksonville. So I feel like the Texans are going to take care of business, win 12 games, probably lose to the division to Kansas City or something like that. Typical, Texans form. But for me, I say it's over under 11 games. I mean, over 11.5 games for sure. But yeah, that's what I got. Anything else you want to say about the Texans?
Their
uniforms are sweet too. The uniforms are sweet too.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, Texans. Yeah, nice uniforms.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Last team, NFC South rival. Person who has Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins too. I forgot Kirk Cousins on the Falcons. And they got a new head coach. I forgot who their new head coach was. But
I know his name. It hurts because he used to be on the Redskins staff. It's gonna hit me. It's gonna hit me.
But
that hurts. That hurts. It's gonna hit me. Yeah, search it up. It's gonna hit me. I'm gonna be embarrassed. Because it's gonna hit me. Johnson. I think his last name. No, can't remember.
Raheem Morris.
I told you it was gonna hurt me.
You're way off. But yeah, Atlanta Falcons. Over. I'll give you a line for them. Over under 7.5.
That's a good line. I was thinking the same thing. That's a tough one. That is a tough line. I'm gonna take the under. I feel like I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the over. I lied. I'm gonna take the over.
Take over.
I feel like I'm gonna take the over. I think it's gonna be like right at 8. Nothing higher than 8 or 9. I think within that range, they're in their division. I feel like they're either gonna get swept or lose or split with the Bucks. I feel like they can definitely split with
Wait,
the
time out. What
Saints.
the Bucks? You're not gonna even give us the Saints a chance? You're not gonna even give us a chance?
I was getting to the Saints, but
Oh,
they're
my fault.
either. I think they're gonna split with the Saints. I think they're gonna split with the Saints 1-1.
All right.
In Carolina, they're sweeping Carolina, but the NFC South also plays the NFC East, so they play everyone in our division. So those are 4 losses for the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh yeah.
Those are
That's not the case
three.
That's not the case
If
for
they
Orlando.
if they no, you're a team that's gonna lose. You might lose 4
They play
to the
them
NFC.
in Washington too, right?
I believe so. I think we might play out in New Orleans. I gotta check. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they play in Washington. I may have decided that for sure.
It's not a game you want to waste your money on.
You right. But
Yeah, because you know what's gonna happen. Jaden Daniels. Oh,
intercepted.
200 rushing yard.
Come on,
200 rushing yards. Jaden Daniels.
Come on, stop.
Anyway,
Stop.
what do you have over under 7.5?
For the Falcons, man, it's tough because obviously with Kirk Cousins, being there, that's definitely a huge upgrade from Desmond Ridder last year. Ridder was sorry.
Definitely.
Ridder was sorry. I still don't know why the Falcons got. I mean, to be fair, coming out of Cincinnati, Ridder was nice. So I see why. I still don't understand why they drafted him that high. So it's whatever.
Yeah, I think Desmond Ridder, he led the Cincinnati team to an undefeated record.
Yeah, he led to a college football playoff. So it makes total sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it just hasn't elevated. It hasn't reached that to NFL.
Yeah.
So obviously their defense is not bad. Their offense, Drake London, they got weapons. Kyle Pitts. Hopefully he can be a fantasy asset for me this year because I keep drafting him in fantasy. He keeps underperforming, and I end up losing every single year.
I think this year is a good year to draft him, but yes. I think that also means he's going to be wanted by a lot more people.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the NFL is in good hands when the NFC South, or at least most of it, is competitive. So, excuse me?
No, go ahead.
Anyway, but yeah, when it's competitive. So, seeing the Falcons being a team that's either in the playoffs or just being back to being a respectable team would be something that I want to see. Now, whether or not they're winning over 7 games this year, I'm going to have to smash over. I'm going to have to. Yeah. 7 games. I feel like if anything, they'll finish 8 and 9.
That's what I said. Like they're going to be an 8 or 9 win team.
Maybe 8 or 9. I don't see them winning more than 8 games, to be honest with you. If they do, that's going to be a surprise to many. But the Falcons, let's also make it clear as well. The Falcons finished. I'm pretty sure they finished 8 and 9 last year, if I'm not mistaken.
We did. They might have been 7 and 10. I don't remember.
Okay,
look it up.
Let me check. They were 7 and 10 last year. My fault. They were 7 and 10 last year. So I mean, do I project that they're going to win one more game than they did last year? Of course. So I mean, like I said before, they got weapons. Kirk Cousins is going to bring some sort of, swag and some sort of, I don't know, to the Falcons offense. But yeah, man, that's my thing. I don't want them to win more than 8 games as a Saints fan, but I do want the Falcons to be competitive, and I'm rooting for Raheem Morris too. I mean, he seems like a solid coach, so that's mine. That's my line for sure. Anything else you want to say about the Falcons, Jay?
No, they got great pieces. I feel like they can definitely do better this year.
All right. But before we go, because we've been doing this for an hour, which is crazy. Before we go, obviously, it is June 10th. We're about a month and 7 days away from one of the greatest games to grace, the planet, NCAA College Football 25. Jay, how we feeling about this game, man?
I am excited. I'm ready, and I'm gonna spend nonstop hours on that game. That's all I got to say.
I already made my plans for as far as who I'm doing for Dynasty. Got the UVA one, about to bring UVA back to prominence. Get us that national title we never won. So,
Never
I'm
ever
pumped.
would win.
Okay, like chill. We're not a football school. We're a basketball school. That's why we have a national title in basketball. All right. So,
Anyway,
excuse me.
go ahead.
Yeah, but if you're new to this hype about NCAA football, the last game that came out before this one was 2014. I remember just when I was little, I would beg my mom to get it. I'll play it, mascot mode, all that stuff, man. So much fun. Loved it. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one, man. The gameplay looks amazing. The game in general looks amazing. I'm just pumped about the whole idea of just playing with college teams and not having to I don't know, use the modded stuff on Madden and pretend
Yeah,
yeah,
everyone making the
it's
custom
messed up.
rosters, custom
Yeah,
lineups.
nah,
It's official now.
I'm not trying to do that also. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. And with that, just want to say thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Youngbouls podcast, man. As always, gonna get y'all an episode out, new episode out each week. As always, thank you to my man Jalen for being here. Second
Of
time.
course, of course.
Second time. Quengo gonna be back. Quengo's gonna be back. He's not like sick or anything. He probably asleep, but he's gonna be back. But thank you guys for tuning in this week. As always, check back with us. And thank you. Peace.
Subscribe and follow.
Subscribe.
Check out